How's it going, people? Welcome to a Deadline Day special on AFTV. I'm joined by Claude and
Deadline Day.
Lee Gunner. You can already see what Claude thinks about the Deadline Day.
It's
you know what, Claude?
It's got to be the quietest one ever.
We're probably one of the only teams to actually bring someone in this window.
Yeah,
When
that's
you look
true.
at it, yeah.
That's true.
Especially
yeah.
top six wise. What Chelsea got Higuain
So
and
we've got a B team player from Barcelona. I'm really jumping out. I'm jumping off the roof on that one. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
so your view of the window is not a good one then, as usual
No,
with us fans.
I
Really.
would have liked to see a defender. I would have liked to see either Carrasco or Perisic come in.
Yeah, we
I
need
think
width
they would
in
have
it.
given us the bet. But now we've got. It seems to me, from what I'm hearing, we've got a B-Tech Ramsey. So that's what I'm hearing.
Well, to be honest, a lot of people
I don't know
like him.
if anyone else has watched him play. I'm only going on what people are telling me, and I'm hearing Barcelona fans saying they couldn't wait for him to go. So I mean, I don't know. That's what people saying.
One thing I will say, the difference between
Lee probably knows more about him than I do. So I'll listen.
Well,
to
the
Lee.
main thing I was going to say about the difference between the two is Ramsey's a player that picks up the ball and is a bit weary to face attacking wise. He kind of protects the ball a lot more, whereas Suarez will get the ball, look up, and he has
take a man on.
confidence to take a man on.
He's got a quick turn of pace over the first 5 yards
Agility,
as well. But listen, he's not a B-Tech Ramsey. Come on, man.
No, but I'm only telling you what people are telling me.
You shouldn't listen to rumours, Claude.
Well, I'm going to judge him when I see it.
You know what? If we listened to everyone online, we would have probably hung ourselves by now anyway. So we've got to stop doing that. Do you know what I mean?
So the thing with Suarez, right?
People are already hanging themselves after listening to me. I think.
The thing with Suarez is everyone's turning their nose up at it, right? At the end of the day, we've only got a Wobie that can turn and run at someone and drop a shoulder and go past people. Mkhitaryan don't really do that. He's not that kind of player. But this guy, I watch a little bit of La Liga. Yeah, and I know he hasn't played a great deal, but over the years I've seen him play. It'll be perfect for us. Yeah. Because he can do that. But not only that, he can play right side, he can play left side, and he can play centre. So
very technical as well.
Exactly. And listen, for the money we're paying out, it's not really a gamble because there's no obligation to buy him.
That's it.
So it's an option to buy. So what's the worst we lose?
Yeah,
a couple of million pounds.
Like you said, it's not a gamble. We paid 2.1 million up front for the loan, 6 months with no obligation. If he performs well, judge it then, sign him up, 21 mil. If he doesn't perform, let him go and stick to this overhaul that we were expecting to happen. Do you know what I mean? But on the other side of things, we've got Emile Smith-Rowe. He's had moments this season. He's definitely shone at times, especially in the Europa League.
I would have liked to keep him because when he's played in the Europa League, he's played really well.
Well, you made a good point on Supporters Club earlier about the fact that we're fighting on two fronts, top four and Europa League, and he has performed well in the Europa League. So why let him go at this stage when we could potentially need him moving forward? But at the same time, I understand the experience Germany brings. I understand the English youth are doing well there.
What I'm trying to say to you, I know Nelson's doing quite well, but he's got a lot. He's been substituted a lot.
Yeah, he has. Yeah,
he's been substituted, so he's not really getting a lot of games over there.
Yeah, right? He started on the bench a lot as well.
It's no good if he's getting games and playing regularly. I can understand that, but if he's going from us to another bench, it's not. What's the point?
That's key. That's key. He has to be starting.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But will he be starting?
Well, I'd hope in modern day football now. I've heard of loan contract especially, where in the contract it says you have to start this guy at least 50% of the games, because we're not loaning you a player just for the sake of giving you extra body. We're loaning you a player to actually benefit out of it at the end as well. So hopefully we have implemented that.
Are they still in Europe? Are they still in Europe, Paul?
Are they still in Europe? I don't even know.
I'm not a Bundesliga expert.
No, I mean the European
so.
tournament, not the European.
What, Europa League or?
Did they start off in the Champions? Were they in the Champions League? They weren't they?
It was last year, but I'm not sure if they come. No, Leipzig.
Oh, God knows. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Don't know. But the thing is, Reece Nelson's probably played a big part in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously they're mates, aren't they?
That's it.
And Jadon Sancho's smacking it out there.
And he played a big part in Nelson coming over because they're mates. So.
And now there's a few others. Reece Oxford, I think he's gone out there today as well. So
a lot of English games. Sancho's getting games.
Yeah, but Sancho's levels above.
Yeah.
You know, let's be real. Reece Nelson's a top footballer, and he could be a great footballer, but Sancho he's smacking it out there at the moment. And like you said, Reece Nelson's sitting on the bench, coming off the bench, getting subbed, whatever. But listen, if Smith-Rowe goes out there and plays let's say half the games between now and the end of the season, I can only do it.
It would have been more than he had played here.
When I've seen him play over there, he's been very impressive, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has been. But on the other hand of departures, we have Nketiah, who was close to a move, and I feel like
I
Emery blocked it.
I couldn't understand that, and apparently now it's been blocked.
Yeah, you came in today.
And I said, I can't. Why we've only got 2 recognised forwards?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So what happens if one gets injured? We're in real trouble. You know what I mean?
So you agree with blocking
unless
that move?
Unless you're playing a Wobie up front. You know what I mean? But I think that's a good. I think it's good to have blocked that. It's one thing he's done well.
What do you think about it, Lee? Block, right option?
Well, like we said about Smith Rowe, Europa League.
Yeah.
You could play Europa League, but
he's a good option to come off the bench.
Exactly. On the flip side of that, Europa League is a big target for us now. So I don't know. Listen, Welbeck's a massive miss for us. Massive miss in terms of numbers because he was ahead of Nketiah. And you can see that the manager's hardly played him.
Yep.
You know, he played at Blackpool.
Yep.
He missed a couple of sitters in that game.
Even since Welbeck's injury, he hasn't played him
Exactly.
much.
So I don't see him being a big part of the squad for the rest of the season. So maybe that should have been somewhere we went and looked for a loan.
That's true. That's
Wasn't
true.
we linked with a right back as well? Was that gone?
Was we?
Yeah, I thought we was linked to some. I can't remember the name. But it was a
Oh,
right
when
back.
Bellerin got injured, yeah, we was linked to someone. I forgot his name as well, but that died pretty quickly. That died really quickly.
We got Lichtsteiner, mate. And Jenks.
He's got the legs for the last 5 months anyway. But listen, also apparently Willock's rejected a move to, where is it, Luton?
Luton, yeah.
Well, I don't blame him for that because when he's come on, I think he's been very impressive. You know what I mean? I think he's unlucky not to actually be on the bench on games. Because when I watched him play, was it the European
Blackpool.
games? And the European games,
Mm.
he's been very impressive.
Yeah. I agree. He's had his moments coming on. How do you feel about Willock, Lee?
I think it's a hard one because we're so light on numbers.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe Smith Rowe was not needed because it's a different position.
Maybe.
So obviously we can play Ozil there, Wobie, Mkhitaryan, Ramsey can even play in that sort of position as well. So maybe that was an easier one to let go. Joe Willock, listen, Luton Town, no disrespect to them, but he's a better player than playing for Luton Town.
Yeah.
So if we are going to let him go, then it needs to be somewhere that challenge him to make him better. Otherwise, he may go down a level. Do you see what I mean?
I know what you mean. And you know
Possible late shout for Cahill.
What do you reckon? Claude, do you want to get us started now? Do you want to get us started now?
Having said that, right, I know where you're coming on this, right? But we do need numbers.
We do. But I'd honestly rather take a lower team's third choice centre back because they might have more heart to try. You know what I mean? If you bring in a centre back that's not known and this is a 6 months for him to show himself at a big club, he has the heart, maybe the passion to do it. But if you bring in a guy that's won everything round the corner at your rival.
Yeah, we've been burnt with Sylvester, haven't we? Before?
Sylvester and Czech. I'd put Czech along with that because he lost his drive as soon as he came to us.
And Gallas.
Yeah.
Gallas as well weren't really great for us, was he? Let's be
I
real.
think Gallas went when that Birmingham, he lost it completely. You remember?
Yeah, when he started crying on the floor. When he started.
See, the thing is as well, there's no, like Emery said this about the defence the other day. Why are you just going to go and throw a signing in there? Because in a couple of weeks' time when they're fit again, I know Bellerin and Holding are out, but when Koscielny's back, when Socrates is back, that loan signing is now going to be sitting there. And he'll then get the ump because he's not playing, or Socrates will have the ump because the loans come in. And there's no point.
To be honest, even with the young players, like Willock, Emil Smith Rowe, even down to Iwobi, I feel like when I take a step back and I think about it, Arsenal's not the ideal playing ground for young footballers coming through. And I say that because we've been such a mess in the past 10 years that even our experienced players are a mess. And usually the experienced players are the older ones that bring the young people through, teach them the ways. But when you've got people like Koscielny, Mustafi, teaching you the ways, are you learning the right way? No. Whereas when you've got a Vieira on Rio, you've got an Adams and whoever else, then you're learning the right way. So I feel like maybe Willock, Luton is definitely not his level, but maybe there was options to explore for him.
I fully understand why he's turned that down. I don't think he'd learn anything going there.
Yeah,
maybe a championship team.
At least. I understand it as well. But let's move away from Arsenal because that's our January done. But Chelsea, obviously, they probably got the most high-profile signing this January.
Yeah, Gonzalo Higuain.
Jesus
Christ, mate. He's played 2 games so far, or had a part in 2 games, and listen, come on, man.
It's been poor.
I'll put money on it now, and I'll probably get destroyed in the comments if this don't happen. I'll put 50 quid on it now that between now and the end of the season, Morata outscores him at Atletico. 100%.
Do you want to say it to one of the fans? The first comment gets a £50 bet with Lee.
50 quid that he will. Morata will score more goals between now and the end of the season than Higuain at Chelsea.
That's a brave call.
Just right, I accept the bet. The first person to do that gets the bet.
I'll personally come and meet you and give you the 50 quid if I'm wrong as well.
Yes, it's a fair shot though because Higuain's unfair. He's had a poorer season than usual this season and he's coming to a new league at 31 to a team that is pretty much in transition as well. So it's
They're
a
in
bit mad
mess.
at the
They're in a
moment.
mess right now, and like, I just don't see how he's going to come in. No disrespect to him, because like, I'm not exactly an Adonis, imagine I'm saying, right? But he's always looked like he's carrying weight.
Yeah.
And this is the toughest league. We all know that. So to come in and hit the ground running in a team that are clearly struggling right now, I can't see it. And there's a lot of problems at Chelsea. So
I think so as well. What do you see?
Well, I thought it was a bit. I think because the Higuain of 2 or 3 years ago, different, yeah.
Yeah.
But now, why are AC, my suspicion is why are AC Milan letting him go?
That's exactly what I thought.
You
Because they
know,
just bought him
Juventus
recently.
I can understand why Juventus
he's on loan,
because
he's on loan at AC, yeah.
yeah, I can understand why Juventus let him go because they had to fund Ronaldo,
Yeah.
right? But if he was really doing the business at Milan, he wouldn't be coming to Chelsea, would he?
Which is, yeah, it's
So
it's
you've
true.
got to look at that in that respect. I think you have to give him that different service. I think Chelsea. I'm not sure if Chelsea play that way.
Yeah, I feel like Chelsea's football is getting to Hazard and see what he does, because I don't feel like they play with width. I don't feel like they play close, tight-knit passing, movement. I feel like just get it to Hazard and hope for the best.
The thing is, it's a like you said, you're spot on, mate. You're absolutely spot on. Why would AC Milan let him go, right? And then you look at it. I'm not Giroud's biggest fan.
Yeah.
But if you offered me the two right now, from now to the end of the season,
Yep.
Giroud all day long. He's done it in this league. Yeah, Higuain's coming as an unknown.
Not 3 years ago, I wouldn't agree.
But especially now with Oba and Laka.
Now I would agree, yeah.
Yeah, now we've got Oba and Laka, Giroud would be the perfect third choice, whereas Higuain's a bit
I
bit
actually
past
think,
it.
I can't believe it, because Giroud, when he's playing with Hazard, they really play off well together.
Yeah. He's
They've
got,
got a
them
great
flicks and
connection,
tricks,
haven't they?
innit?
They've got a great connection between them.
The problem with Chelsea, though, is, like you said, they hope Hazard does something.
Yeah.
Right? And I know a lot of Chelsea fans, they don't rate Willian.
Yep.
Don't rate him at all. Or Pedro.
Yep.
So it's basically give the ball to Hazard and hope he gets the ball in the box. But Giroud's not clinical enough.
Nope.
We see that the other night against Tottenham.
Yeah,
He missed
definitely.
two absolute sitters in
Definitely.
that game, which is why they've gone and brought
Yeah,
Higuain
yeah.
in. But again, he's going to take
good.
time, man.
It's like, don't get me wrong, it's good to see a club losing the game in a transfer window and reacting, because that's something we as Arsenal fans haven't seen from our club, and we wish that we react better to certain situations when we can. So them getting Higuain, I understand the purpose behind it, and it goes back to it's difficult to buy quality players in January. So he probably is the most high-profile striker they could have got, but I'm in agreement with both of you. I don't think he'll work
Probably
out
they
well.
would have been better off going for someone like Callum Wilson, but he's going to be too much money, isn't he?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
not going to pay that sort of money for him, are they? I don't
And
know
Chelsea
what
have watched their money in recent years compared to before, so...
that would have been probably a better signing but they're not going to pay that what they're asking for him, are they? I think there was
Talking about better signings, Leicester just completed Tillmans, yeah, Belgian international.
yeah.
No, that's a decent
Someone
signing.
that I would have been
That's a
interested
decent
in, and
signing.
it was on your loan as well, so why
What sort
couldn't
of
we...
That's the
wages?
thing. Apparently, it's only Arsenal that ain't spending money. Everyone's doing loan
Yeah.
moves. Do you know what I mean? Because then you'll see a lot more of this in the next 3 or 4 years as well. Because people have been burnt.
That's
You
it.
know, January Torres went for 50 million
Yeah,
once.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And we all
you
know
know
how
what?
that ended up. Andy Carroll, 35 million. People have been burnt
I'll
big
tell you
time.
what, I
Man.
know it's quiet in January, but I've never known it to be this quiet.
I think now the financial climate and all FFP and stuff, people got to be more wary about
I
where
can
the
see-
money's going.
I can see why the top teams ain't, because Man City and Liverpool don't really need to, do they?
Yeah, and Man City's on their investigation at the moment too, isn't it? Regarding
So
some
I can see
transfers.
why they haven't really gone in. Manchester United,
Their squad's not too bad, to be fair.
Man United,
Yeah, there's not too. They're just
Yeah.
or were underperforming, but
And I don't think they want to give a
still
temporary manager.
still defensively, they're not.
They're not there, but
I
they,
wouldn't- I
do you
wouldn't
want to
have-
give
I
a
wouldn't
temporary
pay- I
manager the
wouldn't
money?
Phil Jones in my time, anyway.
Because Ole might bring in a centre back he likes, and then when they put a
By
permanent
the way, that's
manager
what
in
Wenger
place,
wanted. Wenger wanted him. I'm glad we never bloody bought him and all.
Who's that?
Phil Jones.
Oh, I don't even know.
yeah.
Yeah,
Smalling as well about it, didn't he?
yeah, he did
But-
before we got him.
Like you say, give a temporary manager money. Is he going to be
Yeah.
there next season? Probably not.
No
But,
point.
You know, Chelsea are the ones that have got the biggest profile name.
Yeah.
They also signed, what was it, Pulisic? But that's
Ah,
obviously for,
yeah.
that was early, but
Yeah.
that's for next season.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you look at Man City, Liverpool, they don't really need a great deal, if anything.
True.
Tottenham have got no money because they're
Yeah.
building a stadium, and we can't really do much either. And we've got enough in the squad to cover at centre back. We can put Monreal
That's
there.
it, yeah.
Yeah, we can put Jenkinson at right back. So I wouldn't say I'm completely happy,
Yeah,
but,
but
you've got to wait
just
until the
named
summer.
Monreal is very injury prone now, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'd rather have him
Yeah.
there at centre back than I don't know, say putting one of
Oh yeah, well that's
you know
just,
putting a lone Cahill in that's hardly played.
Yeah.
Do you know
we
what I mean?
what-
I think if we get another injury now at the back, we are in real trouble.
I think Arsenal always an injury away from a crisis. We're always
Get
like
your
that, you know
boots
what I mean?
ready.
Do you know what I mean? But listen, moving on to probably, I think the final big signing, I'd say, in the January window for English clubs is Almiron. Plays in MLS. We was linked to him heavily in November, December. Apparently we had a
From Atlanta, isn't it?
Yeah, Atalanta, yeah. So we had Atlanta, sorry, yeah. We had a agreement with him apparently. So I did a bit of research on him, watched some videos, and he looks a neat player. And people have told me he's the best player in the MLS. And finally, Newcastle have spent some money. Do you know what I mean? So how do you feel
What
about
did he go for? How much did he go
21 mil? So he's their record signing now, beats Owen.
That's unusual for Ashley to spend £21 million.
Yeah. But again, Almiron, if the rumours are true, this 21 million will be nothing in 3 years because he sounds like he could be a 60 million player. So Ashley's probably thinking long term as well.
Hopefully he's playing at Wembley on Sunday.
Yeah. But again, he's pretty much unknown, so I assume you haven't seen much of him.
No, I haven't. I don't watch MLS. Is he good?
Well, I don't
that's
watch
a
it
big
either.
step up, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't watch it either, and it's a massive step up. But I've heard he is the best player in the MLS in terms of technique and ability.
There's a guy I speak to on Twitter. He's works for ESPN.
Okay, yeah,
and he's been hyping. He was from the same country as well.
Yeah,
he's been hyping this guy to me all the time. He's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
But he says he's the real deal.
Yeah.
And I said off camera before we started filming this that that's just a stopgap. That's like you said, we'll invest in you now.
Yep.
Obviously, they're not paying that up front. That's going to be over the length of the contract.
Yeah.
If he comes in and does, I don't know, say 5-10 goals, keeps Newcastle in the league,
Yep.
he's gone for treble that in the summer.
Who
Or
was
double that at least.
Who was that American years ago? They were hyping and hyping and hyping up so much, and he ended up playing in the non-league. I can't think of his name.
God knows.
Non-league.
Yeah, no, it was a bit.
No, I don't know.
The ones I can remember in the league is like Landon Donovan.
It was an American player out of America.
It was
They
not
were
Clint
going mad
Dempsey.
about it. I can't think of his
Freddie
name.
Adu.
That's it.
What, when he was 13 years old?
They were going absolutely. This bloke is going to be the next biggest thing ever.
I used to
What
buy him on
happened to
Football
him?
Manager all the time. He fucking...
What happened to him?
God
He
knows.
ended up in long league football, didn't he?
Yeah, non-league somewhere. I don't think it's in England, but he
He's
ended
still
up...
playing football.
Maybe even not. Maybe
You know
even
what I'm
not.
saying? They really. So you've got to be very careful what you say. You know.
But this is the thing, though, right? All these kids nowadays, the clubs are just buying and buying and buying them. Yeah, even 21 million is an investment now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how mad football's gone in the last 5-10 years. 21 million pound
Yep.
is an investment because you know if he hits it, it's going
Lee,
to
I
make
want to
money.
ask you one thing before we finish.
Last thing.
What do you think of the Pulisic?
Say his name again.
Is it Pulisic? I can't think of it. Pulisic.
To be honest, I think that's a rip-off. Absolute rip-off.
Because-
Like, at the end of the day, his stats are worse than a Wobie's, right? And he plays in a league that's nowhere near as good as ours.
Yeah.
So if he's worth that, what's a Wobie worth?
Yeah, when you
See what I'm
compare it
saying?
like that, it's a
'Cause
bit,
age-wise
it's a bit
as well.
crazy. And they got Hudson-Odoi and they went to buy him. But you know what? As an Arsenal fan, I look at Stan Kroenke, that's the American market. If Pulisic does turn out to be a star, then I'll put that on Kroenke again. Same with Almiron
You
turns
don't
out to
rate
be
the
a star.
German league then?
Not as much as Premier League, but it's a good league to develop at. But Claude, appreciate you coming down today to discuss this deadline day.
Yeah, well,
League Gunner.
Oh my God.
I mean,
Nice
come on,
one,
come
thank
on.
you.
what a
Nice
waste
one.
of a day. No one bloody signing. God.
Ah, we got one through though. We got one over the line on the last day. But thank you for tuning in, guys. This has been a deadline day special. Let us know what you thought about January window in the comments below. Make sure you follow Claude's page. Make sure you follow Lee Gunner's page and follow my channel, Turkish London TV.